A good snowstorm morning, my friends. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Lush Lawn. Our lawns will be covered in about the southeastern half of Lower Michigan. And if you could do me a favor and you're just joining us, make sure you hit the share button so that everybody else knows how we do this here on MLive. You're going to get quite a bit, and you're going to get the answer to how much snow we expect. Here's a couple of my notes. First off, everything very consistent. The very top end, as I anticipated and have warned you all along, the very top end coming down an inch or two. The whole key to this is the second wave of snowfall. What does it do? And all along, I figured it would shift a little south and east, which stands to reason because the whole atmosphere is sliding south and east while the waves are moving northeast along it. Okay. A mesoscale band could be setting up. That's not something that plays in a bar late at night. What that is, we could get a thin band where there's heavier snow than either side of it. We're starting to see that band perhaps set up, perhaps right now around the Lansing area. I'll show that to you in just a moment. So let's get into it. And if you have any questions, go ahead. Hey, look, right down here, right over here. How are the roads in your area? Give us a report because it's just getting going. A lot of folks will be traveling. So let us know how the roads are in your area. All right, here we go. Winter storm warning pretty well outlines the 6 inches or more. So you go from the very southwest corner to Kalamazoo to the St. John's area, and then over toward Flint, and then up toward Sandusky, and all in the southeast. And then the 2 rows of counties north and west of that in the purple, that's a winter weather advisory for about 3 to 6 inches of snow. So if you want just the quick and dirty look at how much snow, there it is. You have pretty much what you need to know, but let's get into it more in depth, okay? So here's the current radar. And you could see the heavier snow starting to develop. The darker blue, Lansing now reporting quarter-mile visibility, heavy snow, and the southwest corner. And it stretches all the way back into northern Illinois. And you see those bands. Like, look at the one that's apparent in northern Illinois, south of Chicago, down through central Illinois. That's what we call a mesoscale band. You can get big flakes in there. You can get an extra couple of inches in just a couple of hours, and it can boost the snowfall totals in some bands. Quick look at some of the observations here. Show that, let's see. Let's just scroll through here. And let's see. Caro now reporting half-mile visibility. And Jackson, half-mile visibility. Lansing, heavy snow, quarter-mile visibility. That's the line for heavy snow, quarter-mile visibility. Benton Harbor, quarter-mile visibility, possibly heavy snow. Grand Rapids, quarter-mile visibility, heavy snow. Kalamazoo at half-mile visibility. So you can see the visibility is starting to decrease, which is a sign that the snow is getting its acting gear. And here's a mesoscale discussion out of the Storm Prediction Center. They even kind of watch it for severe weather. Hey, good morning, John Markey. Yes, we'll give you a break on the snow in the Midland area today. Wet roads in Riga. Snow has begun. Wow, I am not even going to attempt your name, Anita. We'll call you Anita G. How does that sound? Okay, so what this mesoscale discussion says is that through midday, 1 inch snow per hour, and that'll probably be shifted up into the south central part of the state, Jackson or so. All right, so what I'm saying here is that the key to this whole forecast is the second wave of snowfall. So we have the first wave over us now. We know what it's going to do. It's going to do 4 to 6 inches or so, maybe 7, maybe 8. I'll show that to you in detail here in just a moment. What does the second wave do? Does the second wave slide up into the southeast corner, Monroe, Detroit, Ann Arbor, Coldwater? and give another 2 or 3 inches tomorrow and boost you to 9 or 10? Or does it stay just southeast of there? All right, heavy snow in Frankenmuth, half-mile visibility. So what we're seeing right now is the snow is just blossoming over Michigan. And that's a tough thing. You know, a lot of folks, not you, but a lot of folks just think we look at the radar and here's the snow off to the west or here's a storm off to the west and it's moving our way. Weather is dynamic and the models predict the dynamic change. So development right overhead, and that's what's going on. All right, so this is the radar forecast that I like now. Early in a storm, we have the long-term models, the European and the GFS. Then we go to the short-term models that do a better job, and we'll step through it with you here. So this is right now. And we go through 10, 11, noon, and it just continues to forecast the snow increasing intensity. You see the darker blue. This is the heart of the afternoon, 3 o'clock. It's snowing everywhere from the southwest corner through Lansing, through Grand Rapids, through Saginaw, through Bay City, through the Thumb, all the way down into the Detroit area where you're just changing over to snow right now. We're at 5 o'clock. And you're in the heavy snow in the southeast, south central, the western side of the storm, letting up a touch, Grand Rapids, Saginaw. That's why you're only in the 3 to 6 inch range. And this is the first wave, remember. So this is the middle of the night tonight, still going in Lansing, Jackson, Detroit, Jackson, Coldwater, the eastern part of the Thumb, the northwest side. And this is another change from yesterday in just a tweaking of the forecast is that the northwest side of this, Grand Rapids to Saginaw, looks now like it will get out of the snow quicker. I thought maybe Thursday morning. Now it looks like maybe in the middle of the night for the accumulating snow to be done. Those schools that canceled both Wednesday and Thursday, you know, in the northern sides, Thursday might not be too terrible, although the roads could still be pretty bad. All right, so we keep going, okay? Let's see. Brian David, roads are terrible. Don't go out if you don't have to. Brian David, where are you reporting from? We'd like to know that. All right, we're getting some great reports in here, and watch the comments for your area. Hey, good morning, James Luke Jr. Okay, so second wave, the key to Detroit, Ann Arbor, Jackson's snowfall. This is Thursday morning. The snow's still in the far southeast corner, Monroe. And then this is Thursday afternoon, that second wave possibly bringing another surge of snow into the Detroit, Monroe, Coldwater, Jackson area. That adds on a few inches if that were to happen. This is a Thursday evening. And then by midnight, Friday morning early, it's all done and has shifted on to the south and east. Still waves going, still a mess Friday in through Indiana and Ohio if you're driving to the south. All right, so there's your scenario. Now, drum roll, please. What everybody wants to know, how much snow, Mark? Let's have it. So we're going to look at various models, and I'll show you the one that I prefer. And it'll pretty much, I want to call it a 6 to 9 inch snowstorm for south of Grand Rapids, north of Flint, south and east. And I think that would be a real good way to just leave it there. But we'll look at some of the details too. And if you could, hit the share button. I'd appreciate it very much. Took me an hour to get home for a normally 30-minute ride, Marlette to Croswell. Okay, so in the Thumb, it's starting to get going. Snow increasing, Ypsilanti, says Carol Franklin, and that's what we'd expect. Muskegon, you don't get a whole lot out of this. All right, so this is what I've been using when the storm was out a distance. This is the Europeans ensemble mode, and it gets rid of mesoscale bands, so you're not going to see the very heaviest. But but you're going to see the general snow, and that's why I'm calling it a 6 to 9 inch snow. Kalamazoo to let's use Birch Run or Clio is about the 6-inch line southward. So that's Flint, that's Lansing, that's Jackson, that's Kalamazoo, that's Coldwater, and definitely all of the southeastern part of Lower Michigan, all the Detroit area, all of Ann Arbor area, part of the thumb. Grand Rapids, you're at least 3 inches, probably 4, maybe 5. Saginaw, you're at least 3 inches, probably 4, maybe 5. Okay, now let's go to some of the better models in the short term. This is the high resolution rapid refresh. You know, I'm always talking about this one in the short term, especially in severe weather. This one will show us the mesoscale band, and it's trying to indicate it. And I've been watching this and saying it's not happening yet on radar, and it's starting to happen. So this mesoscale band is kind of tilted back farther northwest into the Flint-Lansing area versus what we would expect with a general storm system and 2 waves hitting the far southeast being the heaviest. So this is the high resolution rapid refresh, and it doesn't go out as far in distance, but now we're at the time frame where it goes out far enough to see what's going on. And it shows 10 inches, Jackson, Lansing, 9 to 10 inches, we'll call it. It doesn't go far enough to get that second wave into Detroit, so it doesn't go far enough out in time. So where you're seeing 7 in Detroit, you probably add on 2 or 3 to that and get yourself to 9 or maybe 10 inches. It takes the 7-inch line, 6-inch line up to Saginaw, and it takes it into the southeastern part of the Grand Rapids area. Let's look at the NAM. Now, this is a new one just coming in. This is a short-term model also. This is the one that I really like, you know, just as a general overall model, and it's indicating this is by 3 this afternoon. So it's indicating where that mesoscale band is going to set up from the thumb through Carroll, through close to Saginaw, definitely Birch Run, Frankenmuth, all of Genesee County, all of Shiawassee County, then shifting back to the southwest through Lansing, through Kalamazoo, Battle Creek. You've got what my buddy Tony Pan, a meteorologist out in Baltimore, he calls it, he likes to have fun with it. He gets on the snow train because they don't get a whole lot of snow up there. He calls it thumpage. We're going to get some snow thumpage in that area. So, you know, to get up to 5 inches by 3 p.m. this afternoon, what's that, 6 hours? That's almost an inch an hour. That's thumpage on the snow. Now we'll continue it out. And this is the very latest run, too. So I'm looking at this just as you, because it's just coming in. So this is 10 through 10 tomorrow morning. It's not all the way in yet. And there you can see again, 6 to 9 inches. Detroit at 7 through that time period. But you can also get a feel that that second wave is down there. In fact, let's go back to the radar forecast on this one just to see if that second wave is showing up. And it is starting to show up tomorrow midday, it looks like, in the far southeast. So that's what gets Detroit up to 9 or 10 by a 2 or 3 inch snow tomorrow. Okay, now the U.S. model, you hear about us, you hear everybody knock it. The European is great. The U.S. model is junk. One thing that the U.S. model does now, better than any other model, is it has a snow to liquid ratio in it. All the other models are 10 to 1. They don't really do well if it's a real heavy wet snow. We have to shade it down, and they don't do well if it's a 15 inches of snow to 1 inch of water. The GFS does that, and that's where you get into, if we get these big flakes, we get a higher snow to liquid ratio, you get some 12-inch amounts. And that's what the GFS does. That's what the National Weather Service, by the way, is also sticking with. But you still see the same 6-inch line stretching from southeast of Grand Rapids to southeast of Saginaw, on south and east. That's why I think 6 to 9 is a real good indicator. Now, these are from the folks at the Weather Service, National Weather Service, and they do a great job. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I got to go back to the maps, not me. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry. All right, so this is the GFS again. Remember, with its better snow to liquid ratio, and that's where it indicates 12 inches or so in some isolated spots. I would not focus on that amount. I think it would be very rare, but it could be in a mesoscale band. And if the mesoscale band is setting up a little farther north, we might be surprised if there's just a 10-mile strip somewhere in there from south of Kalamazoo through Lansing that gets the 10 to 12 inches of snow. And then this right here is the Weather Service. You know, this is all of the models put together by humans. It's a great way to look at it. Yes, we still need us humans in this. And I think they're a touch heavy in the far south on that 11 and 12. That's going to be the anomaly, but they try to indicate that that second wave will be through the area. Now, have I confused you? Let's just go back to what I think is probably the best one. Let me see here. Let me find it for you. Let's call the NAM probably the best look at everything, aside from the fact that it doesn't have that second wave yet heading into the Detroit area because it's only out 31 hours in the future. So there you go. A lot of 6 inches, some 7s, some 8s, a few 9s, and basically we'll take that 6-inch line from Bad Axe to Caro to Frankenmuth, Birch Run, definitely Clio, down through Elma, Ithaca, St. John's, down through the far corner of Kent County, not Grand Rapids, and southwest corner, and on south and east. Ann Arbor, Detroit, Jackson, Oakland County, you're all in at least 6, probably 7, probably 8. Susan Lewis, how much in Midland County when it's all done? I would call Midland County 1 to 3 inches. And if you want now, we can play what Jim Cramer on CNBC calls the lightning round. You give me cities, and I give you an amount, and you're going to hear me say 6 to 8 inches a lot. So let's go. Monroe totals, Ron Strickler. I'm going to say you're going to be on the higher end because I think you're going to get into that second wave. So I'm going to say you're going to be 9, 10 inches. How much in Flint, Jackie Campbell? I'm going to call it 7 or maybe 8 inches. Sophie Davis, thanks for watching. Still raining in Westland. Ottawa Lake. I don't know where that is. I'm guessing that's in Ottawa County, and you're going to be just a couple of inches or so. Troy, you're in the heart of it. I'm going to say you're 7 to 9 inches in Troy. West Bloomfield, Aaron Smith, you're 7 to 9 inches also. Shepherd, you're probably just an inch or so. Texas Township, Justin Coffey, I have no idea where Texas Township is. You're going to have to give me some details there. Bloomfield Hills, we'll call it 7 to 9. St. Joseph, Dawn says, Marquardt says it's snowing there, and you're going to be probably in the 9, 10 inch. How much in Saline? I think I got that right. I would call it 7 to as much as 9, probably 7 or 8. Clio, Jessica Knorr, looking at least 6, probably 7. Ottawa Lake is in Monroe. Okay, Ottawa Lake, Kevin Norix, you're going to get the thumpage. You're going to get 9, 10 inches or so. Marcia Husner, thank you very much. Listening from Port Austin. You're just on the tip of it, and you're probably just probably 1 to 3 inches. Is ice an issue in Grand Rapids? No, Mary McNeil. Not as far as freezing rain. You're all snow. In fact, everybody will be all snow here in the next hour or so. Gibraltar? Ooh, D.W. Jones, you got me there too. I'm supposed to know this. A meteorologist of 30 years in Michigan. Let me know where Gibraltar is, please. I think it's in the far southeast. Brooklyn, Sandy Avery, you're going to be in the 7 to 9 inch range. Florida, you don't have any snow. You have 7 to 9 inches of sand. Clinton Township, you're looking at, I would call you in the 7, 8-inch range. Debbie Underwood lives in the purple and likes it. Battle Creek County, Calhoun County, you should be 7 or 8 inches of snow. East China near Marine City. Help me again. I think that's in the eastern part of the thumb. Southeastern part, you should be 6 to 8 inches. How much for Bloomfield Township, Reese? I would say at least 4 in Reese, probably 5, possibly 6. Lansing already has 3 to 4. Thank you. You're going to be high because it looks like that mesoscale band is setting up over you. So you're going to be probably 8, 9 inches of snow. Spring Lake Village Government, hey, thanks for checking in. Portage and Allegan County, you're probably 3 to 5 inches or so. Battle Creek, you're 6 to 8. Gray, you're very little, just 1 inch to 3 inches. Alma, you are probably 3 to 5. Brighton, you're right in the heart of it. Let's call you 7 to 9 inches. Mayville in the thumb, you're looking at probably 5 to maybe as much as 7, but I doubt it. New Baltimore, you're in the thumpage. You're in the 8 to 10 inch. What's the deal with Ann Arbor? Like Moses parting the Red Sea. No, Ann Arbor, you will get it. Ann Arbor, you will definitely get it. You'll be looking at least 7, probably 8, possibly 9. Macomb, you're going to get it too. We'll call you in the 6 to 8. New Baltimore also in the heavy stuff, 7 to 9 or so. Thursday, driving to downtown Detroit from Lansing. What can we expect? Lansing will have ended. You might drive into it in Detroit. Wait as late as possible. How much for Saginaw? That's a good question. I would say Saginaw is probably 3 inches to maybe as much as 5 inches. Holland, 3 to 5. Let's call Grand Rapids 3 to 5 too. Any more snow coming this weekend after this? No. Pawpaw. Pawpaw, you're probably, I would say at least 4, 5, maybe 6. Any chance second wave will reach Clarkston? Probably not. The second wave probably only as far north as Detroit, Ann Arbor, far southeast. Eaton Rapids, you might be in that mesoscale band that's dumping it right now. So I'm going to say you're going to be at least 6, but probably 7 to 8 or so. Ypsilanti, Mela Presto, you're going to be looking at the 7 to 8 inches. Midland, Maria Cahoon, what did I call it before? 1 to 3 or so, something like that. Spring Lake Village Government, you're welcome. You keep coming up for some reason. How about Spring Lake? Where is Spring Lake? Tell me. I think it's by Grand Rapids, but you're going to have to let me know. Fremont, Indiana-Michigan border, you'll be the heaviest. You'll be 9, 10 inches easily. Lansing, you're shaping up to be heavy with that mesoscale band. You might pick up a lot here in the next couple of hours and then taper off. Lynn Savage, Aranac County, 1 to 3 inches. Adrian, Amy Million. Adrian is heavy too, 9 or 10 inches. And Tammy Kramer, I'll tell you what, I have never, ever predicted 12 to 21 inches. That was someone else way early. Don't listen to that. 21 inches, you know how hard it would be to get 21 inches? It can happen. Never say never in weather, but you know how hard it would be? And I avoid the foot because you run with that foot. You're the person. You run with that foot, and then it turns into a... So no. You should never give amounts. If somebody was giving amounts 3 days ago when the GFS was going crazy and cranking out 20 inches, don't watch them. Don't listen to them ever again. All right. Driving to Detroit tomorrow. What's a good time to go, Nancy Harris? Well, it won't be perfect, but I would say, do you get between the 2 waves and go in the morning? or do you wait until maybe the second wave is over? That's a real tough call. It's probably not going to be the greatest. I'd probably delay it as long as possible. Holly, Michigan, probably looking at 6-7 inches of snowfall. Herbert, Saginaw, I'm calling Saginaw 3 to 5 inches. Lapeer, 6 or 7, probably not 8. And there you have it. We've gone through what I called the lightning round on snowfall. Driving from Vassar to Auburn tomorrow. Any suggestions? Colette Ford, Vassar to Auburn. If you're talking about Auburn toward Midland, the snow will be done Vassar to Auburn by morning, it looks like. There you have it. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by Lush Lawn. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. We'll continue to follow this. I think the thing to follow now is, where does that mesoscale band set up? So we'll probably, in the end, see a snowfall total map that has this little about 10, 20 mile strip stretching from southwest to northeast somewhere, and either side of it will be 6 or 7 inches, and in the middle of it might be 9 or 10. Right now, that mesoscale band appears to be setting up Lansing down to southwest of the Kalamazoo area, and it could hover and shift a little toward the east and northeast through the afternoon. Keep you updated on that. I guess the easy story is that it's going to be very dangerous driving with a lot of snow this afternoon into tonight, and then things will start to wind down, and it's just your regular solid snow for Michigan. It's nothing historic in nature, and we'll all enjoy it once it's done. Thanks for joining me. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Continue to monitor MLive for tweaks, as I like to call it, in the snowstorm. That means fine-tuning. Down here, up here a little bit, and hey, something to keep us busy. Take care.